This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous session, we have discussed about applications
Excuse
and we
me,
have
sir.
discussed about the applications in lighting experience and how can we manage the applications available in Salesforce lighting experience by using App Manager, and how can we see the applications, how to create our own custom apps, how to customize the standard lighting applications we have discussed, and we have discussed how can we upgrade the custom classic applications to lighting experience we have discussed in the previous session. Now, so in today's session, we are going to discuss about objects. So we have to understand what exactly an object and what it represents, and why should we go for objects, and what type of objects available in Salesforce, and how to manage the objects in Salesforce org. It may be to create our own custom objects also. It may be to customize the objects that we have in Salesforce. And how can we extend the functionalities of these objects? We'll see practically. And what are the various governor limits that has been imposed by Salesforce upon creating our own custom objects? And upon creating a custom object in Salesforce, what kind of features that Salesforce offers by default, we'll see practically today. Every point I will be documenting in the notes also, don't worry. Now, so first of all, we have to understand what exactly an object. Generally, what do you mean by an object? Because this word is not new. Since almost 2 weeks, okay, once our sessions has been started, from there we are keep on using this word object, objects in various places. What do you
Indeed,
mean by an object? What exactly an object represents?
it is nothing but a table in
Table.
real.
Now, so object in the sense a table. Why? Why should we go for objects? What is the need of tables in our applications?
For storing our data.
To store data related to what? Your business, your organization, your sales, your service, your customers, your product, whatever, anything. So object represents a table which contains the application specific or organization specific or business specific data. That means in order to store the data related to your business or application, we are using the help of objects. So it will store the data in the form of tabular structure. It will store the data in the form of tabular structure. Why? Because managing the data in the form of tabular structure is very, very simple, very, very easy. It's easy to maintain, it's easy to store, so that objects are going to be maintaining the data or storing the data in the form of tabular structure. Now, when coming to the objects, we have two types of objects available in Salesforce. Salesforce provides two types of objects. First one, standard objects. Second one, custom objects. You know, same story. During applications also, we have discussed the same. So, as part of objects, we have two types of objects are available. Standard objects. Second one, custom objects. we have two types of objects available, standard, custom. Now tell me, what do you mean by standard? What do you mean by custom?
Sales,
Standard objects in the sense
Salesforce
Salesforce
provides
default
already
objects,
have them.
right?
We can't
Default
change.
object,
As part
right?
of Salesforce CRM, as part of Salesforce CRM, Salesforce has given so many applications to us by default, like sales, service, marketing, content, charter, community. Like that, Salesforce has given so many objects to us by default. Okay, we have so many applications. So now, in order to store that sales data or service data, marketing data, content or charter or anything, in order to store that application specific data, Salesforce has created so many objects by default. So the objects which has been created by Salesforce by default, the objects which are coming along with your Salesforce CRM, those are called as standard objects. Simply in one word, we can say these are ready-made objects. Simply, we can say ready-made objects which has been given by Salesforce as part of Salesforce CRM. Now, so now in this case, can you give me some object names which you are aware of, which has been given by Salesforce?
Contact, account,
Now,
opportunities,
account,
Contact,
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 order,
case,
opportunity,
campaign,
campaign,
MPN,
case,
push campaign,
order,
lead,
product,
promotion.
like that. Already we know
forecast.
object names are in singular format, tab names are in plural format here. So these are the objects. So now Salesforce has given some set of ready-made objects by default as part of Salesforce CRM in order to store the CRM specific data, in order to store sales data, service data, marketing data. To store this data, Salesforce has prepared some set of ready-made objects. Those are called as standard objects, like campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, case, solution, order, contract, product, price book. Like that, Salesforce has given some hundreds of objects by default, which are part of Salesforce CRM in order to store your CRM specific data. Now, so once objects has been given by Salesforce, can we customize these objects according to my business needs? Yes. That means,
Yes.
for example, object means what? Table. Table contains what? Columns. Okay. Table contains columns. First of all, it should have columns. Once the columns are available, then we can able to rows store. We can row some inside this. These rows are
Sir,
called as
screen is blank, sir.
columns. Now, so once the records, okay, once the table
Sir,
is
your
available
voice
with
is
the
not
required
clear.
columns, once the table is available, we can store some records inside this table. Now, so now tell me, can we add some more additional columns to this table now? Can we
yes,
store some more additional columns? Yes.
Yes.
According to the
yes,
business requirement, we can add some more additional, okay, fields also. Now, for example, as part of this object here, assume that this is account object. Now, we are having some fields like as ID field, name, rating, industry, like that. Can we add some more additional columns to this object here?
Yes.
Yes. Now I want to add few more columns. Like as I would like to add a PAN number column. I want to add a passport number column. I want to add an Aadhaar number column here. I want to add a bank account number column. Bank account number column. Like that, I want to add some more columns to this table. Can we customize? Yes. Whatever the objects that we have in Salesforce, objects can be customizable. Whatever the standard objects that we have, standard objects can be customizable according to our business requirement. Now tell me, can we remove these standard objects from the organization?
No.
No, we can't remove these as standard objects. Why? Because is whatever the standard objects that we have, these objects are using in Salesforce CRM application. It may be using in sales application also, or service application also, or marketing application also, or somewhere. Whenever I'm removing these objects from this organization, okay, one of these application functionalities will be getting affected. That's what here Salesforce won't allow you to remove these standard objects from the arc. Whatever the standard objects that we have, these can be customizable, but these are not removable. We can't remove them. These are fixed objects here. These are fixed objects. According to the business need, we can use it. If you want, we can use these objects to store the data. If you don't want, leave it, no problem. But we can't remove these objects from the organization. Okay, so standard objects are nothing but ready-made objects given by Salesforce by default, which are used to store the CRM specific data. So the standard objects can be customizable, but these are not removable. We can't remove these objects from the organization because if I'm removing this object, some of the CRM functionalities will be getting affected. That's what Salesforce won't allow you to remove these objects from the Salesforce arc. These are fixed, which cannot be removable. Okay? Now, so in this case here, sometimes we can raise the question, sir, I want to build my own custom applications. As part of this Salesforce CRM, we are using sales application, service application, marketing, content, charter, everything we are using that. Along with this one, we are building one insurance application also. We are building our own custom application insurance for our one of our client, Farmers Incorporation. As part of this insurance application, what kind of objects are required? We require various objects. These are the various objects that we need. As part of my insurance application, I need few objects also. Because to store the insurance related data, I require branch object. Now tell me, do you have branch object in Salesforce? No.
No.
Do you have employee object in Salesforce? No. Do
No.
you have agent object in Salesforce? No. Do you have policy object? No. Term object? No. Customer object? No. Premium object? No. Claim object? No. But these are required as part of my business. As part of my new application, okay, we require these objects here. But these are not ready-madely available in Salesforce. So in these cases, what are the custom applications that we are building during those custom applications? What are the standard objects given by Salesforce if these are not sufficient? If these are not suitable, what are the additional objects that we want, we can create. According to your application requirement, we can create your own custom objects also. Who can create these custom objects? Only two people, either Salesforce administrator or Salesforce developer. Only these two people here, either Salesforce administrator or developer. Not the customers, not the partners, not the employees, not the end users. Only Salesforce developers and the administrators are having the rights to create these custom objects according to the business requirement. Now, so based on your business need, we can create our own custom objects also to store our own application specific data, our own business specific data. We can create our own custom objects here. Now, in this case, for example, I want to create a custom object with the name some policy. I want to create a custom object with the name customer, like as some loan, like as some claim, like as some employee, like that here. So now here I would like to create my own custom objects also. Policy object, customer object, loan, claim, employee, like that depends upon my requirement. I will create some objects also. These objects are called as custom objects. So the objects which has been created by the Salesforce developer or administrator, those are called as custom objects. Now, so now tell me in this case, you can raise a question, sir, how can we differentiate? Is it standard object? Is it custom object here? Now these are the standard object names. These are the custom object names. How can we know whether it is standard or custom? In this case, to
It is
differentiate that,
followed by C.
each custom object name will be postfixing with underscore underscore C, double underscore, not single underscore, underscore double underscore C, customer underscore C, loan underscore C, claim underscore C, employee underscore C. That means each custom object name will be post fixing with underscore C. Now this underscore C will represent it's a custom. It's a custom. Just by looking into the name itself, we can understand is it standard or is it custom. Standard object names are looking like as normal words, like as account, contact, opportunity, like that. Custom object names are always post fixing with underscore C. So not just by using this notation, we can identify is it standard, is it custom. Clear? Now, so now in this case here, same. Yes, we'll see practical. Now in this case, so once the object has been created by you, that means once as a developer or as an administrator, once you create an object, okay, with the name some policy underscore C, can we customize this object now according to your requirement? Suppose, for example, today we have created the policy object by adding some 10 columns inside this. By adding some 10 columns, you have created the table. Tomorrow, my client will ask you to add 2 more columns based on his new business. Based on his new requirement, he will ask you to add 2 more columns. Can we add? Yes. So whatever the custom objects that we have, custom objects can be customizable. According to the requirement, we can customize them. Can we remove these custom objects from the organization? Yes, because
Yes.
custom object has been created by developers. That means administrators. So we are the owners of these objects. So we can remove these objects if the object is no longer needed for you. If this object is no longer needed, if you don't want this object, if you're not referencing this object anywhere inside the R, then you can remove this one. That means what? Custom objects can be customizable and removable also, both. Clear? These are the 2 types of objects are available. Now, the combination of both the standard and custom objects are called as yes objects in Salesforce. Yes objects. Yes objects means Salesforce objects. Yes means Salesforce. Yes objects in the sense combination of both the standard and custom objects are called as yes objects. Okay, clear? Now, so in this case here, you can raise a question. Sir, whenever we are creating our own custom objects inside the Salesforce R, do we have any limitations that only these many number of objects that we can create? Yes, there is a limitation. Salesforce has introduced the governor limits also. So what are those governor limits? In free developer edition, we can create maximum of 400 custom objects. Standard objects will not be countable. Standard objects won't count, but only custom objects will be countable. In your free developer edition, we can create maximum of 400 custom objects. That means 400 custom tables that we can create additionally in free developer edition. Suppose if it is an unlimited edition, in unlimited edition, we can create maximum of 2000 custom objects. Maximum of 2000 custom objects, not more than that. These 400 objects are not specific to an application. These are common to all the applications. That means create the object once and reuse the object in multiple places wherever you want. That's what when you observe these applications also, sales, service, marketing, in these applications, we are using account object also, contact also. Account object is only one. Contact object is only one. But these 2 objects are using in sales application also, service application also, marketing application also. In our custom applications also, we have used this one. because the same object is required in our custom application also, like as farmers insurance, Merck story pulse. In those also we have used. That means objects has to be get centralized. Make the object centralized. Don't create the copy of the same object again and again and again. Create the object only once. Reuse the object in multiple applications whenever you want, wherever you want, so that don't create a separate object for every application, because the number of objects will be getting increased. It will increasing the complexity of the database. It will be degrading your application performance. So that here, reduce the complexity, reduce the number of objects, make it reusable. Create the object once, reuse this object in multiple places wherever you want. For that reason, Salesforce is going to making the object centralized. So they have given the limitation. Within the entire organization in free developer edition, we can create maximum 400 custom objects. In unlimited edition, we can create maximum of 2000 custom objects. So these are the kernel limits. Now, so now here in this case, now, you can raise the question, sir, is it possible to extend this number of objects? No, these are fixed. It may be paid edition, it may be free edition, these are fixed, which cannot be extendable. Which cannot be extendable. Because if I'm increasing the number of objects for an organization, complexity will get increased. Definitely, the application performance will get decreased. If the application is giving very less performance, next time onwards, customer won't use my application. They won't continue to use my software. Because of that, here we are losing some credibility in the market. That's what here Salesforce is always trying to be giving some limitations in every feature wise. Okay, clear? Understood the concept now? Make a note of this one. Objects. Object represents a table which is used to store application or business or organization specific data in the form of table or structure. In the form of table or structure. Object represents a table which is used to store application or business or organization specific data in the form of table or structure. Salesforce provides two types of objects. First one, standard objects. Second one, custom objects. Standard objects in the sense, these are the ready-made objects provided by Salesforce by default as part of Salesforce CRM, which are used to store CRM specific data. For example, campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, case, solution, order, product, etc. Now, standard objects can be customizable based on the need. But we can't remove these objects from the organization. But these objects can't be removable from the organization. Custom objects. The Salesforce administrator or developer can create custom objects based on the need, to store the application specific data. Now, each custom object name should be postfixed with __ C. __ C represents custom. For example, employee __ C, customer __ C, policy __ C, and agent __ C, loan __ C, etc. We can customize or remove the custom objects from the organization. Note. The combination of both the standard and custom objects will be called as S objects. S objects means Salesforce objects. So now tell me where these objects will be getting resides. Generally, when you go to any other programming language, where all the tables will get resides in the database, right? Yes, database is a location where all your data will be getting resides in the form of tabular structure. So it may be any database, it may be Oracle, it may be SQL Server, it may be My Access, it may be MS Access also, MySQL also, Ingress SQL, PostgreSQL, and then DB2, DBase, Teradata, anything. Whatever the databases that we have, databases are purely storing the data in the form of tabular structure. So here also it is using a database. What is the database for Salesforce? Salesforce is using their own customized database that is called as a database.com. Generally, when you go to Java or .NET applications, those people are using the backend database as either Oracle or SQL Server. But Salesforce people are using their own database that is called as the database.com. Okay, now all the Salesforce objects and records will get resides inside database.com database.com, which is a customized database of Salesforce. Which is a customized database of Salesforce. Gonna limits. In free developer edition, we can create maximum of 400 custom objects. In unlimited edition, we can create maximum of 2000 custom objects. Based on the need, we can create these objects. If it is a free developer edition, maximum of 400 custom objects. If it is an unlimited edition, we can create maximum of 2000 custom objects. These are the limitations given by Salesforce. Organization wise, for the entire organization wide, we can create maximum 400.
Done, sir.
Now, done with these points. Now, generally, whenever we are creating or building any of your real-time implementations, it may be Java based, backend based, Oracle based, including Salesforce based also, whatever. Upon building any application, it may be banking, finance, insurance, sales, okay, marketing, manufacturing, anything. For every application, we are using maximum 200 to 250 tables max. Okay, we are using 200 tables to 250 tables max because managing 250 tables of data is very difficult. It requires so many user interfaces. It requires so many functionalities also as part of this database. But in free developer edition itself, we have the facility to create 400 custom objects. That means what? By using this free developer edition, we can implement 2 real-time projects also. That is the capacity of free developer edition. By using free developer edition itself, we can create maximum of, okay, 2 real-time projects, because in each real-time implementation, we are using 200 to 250 tables max. For example, if I'm considering 200 tables for each and every real-time application, so by using this 400 objects, we can build 2 real-time projects over here. Okay, so now that is the capacity of free developer edition. So don't expect free developer edition is simply a trial version. It is giving very less feature, not like that. Of course, the data storage is very limitation, but features wise, it is having all the full-fledged features are available in free developer edition here. It is having equivalent features like as your unlimited edition features wise, but the bandwidth will be a bit limited. Okay, now let's see. So now let's see how can we see the objects available inside my Salesforce org. What are the various ways available to see the objects inside my Salesforce org now? Now, for example, I'm using this Salesforce CRM application. In my Salesforce CRM application, Salesforce has given so many objects by default till now. And might be I have created some objects also in the past. Maybe I have created some objects in the past. Now let's see how can we see the objects which we have inside my Salesforce arc, including standard, including custom, all the objects I would like to list out at one place. Do we have any ways to see the objects available inside my arc? Yes, not only one, multiple ways are available. Okay, we have multiple ways are available in order to see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. Then what are those ways that we have? Now let's see one by one. Now, so now here as part of this Salesforce, we are having three ways are available. In order to see the objects available inside the Salesforce arc, we have three ways are available. First one, object manager. Second one, schema builder. Third one, developer console. Okay, these are the three ways. Object manager, schema builder, developer console. These are the three ways are available to see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. Then how can we use these ways to see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc? Now let's see one by one. Okay, what exactly that each and every way, and then how can we go to that navigation, how to see the objects. Now let me list out one by one here. I will show you with the practical scenario. Okay, along with navigation. Then we will see, okay, how to create our own objects here. What are the ways are available to create our own objects? We'll see practically one by one. Okay, and then we'll see what will happen behind the screen upon creating your own custom objects. From there, we'll see how to manage the objects. Everything we'll see one by one. Now, make a note of this one. Salesforce provides the below three ways to list out the objects. To list out the objects in the arc. First one, by using object manager. Second one, by using schema builder. Third one, by using developer console. Now, by using object manager first. How to see this object manager? Okay, now let's see. Click on setup menu. Click on object manager tab. View the list of objects in the organization. This is one way. First one, object manager. Just you can click on setup menu, click on object manager, and then we can see the objects available inside your Salesforce arc. If you want to create some new objects also, we can create our own new objects from here itself. There is a possibility. Now, let me show you each and every option one by one with the practical. Done? Now,
Yes.
let's see with the practical. I'm going to my Salesforce arc. If you want to see the objects available inside your Salesforce arc, not only standard, custom also, everything we can list out at one place here. If you want to see the objects available inside your Salesforce arc, just you can click on setup menu. Now in the left panel, setup menu options are available. Here we can search for the option object manager, or else directly the object manager tab is available here itself. Here itself we have object manager tab is available. Just you can click on this one, any one of that here. Now click on object manager tab. Now we can see the list of objects available inside your arc. This is the object names. This is the label of the object here. This is the API name. That means the unique name. API means application programming interface. So these are the unique names of those objects over here. Now we are having this object names: account object, activity, alternative payment method, API anomaly event store. Like that, here we are having all these objects are available. These are all are the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. We can see. Now tell me, these are standard objects or custom objects? How do you know standard object? Now it is
Standard
indicating
objects.
type. So it is indicating a type field, that means type column, which indicates what type of object it is. Is it standard or is it custom or what? We can able to do that here. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, let's see. So we can see all the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. Just you can click on accounts tab here to see the account object. Now tell me, do we have any option to delete this object over here? No, there is no option to delete because standard objects can be customizable by adding some more additional fields, that means columns, but we can't remove these objects from the organization. So standard objects cannot be removable. These are fixed objects here, so that we don't have any delete option over here. No delete option for this account object here. This will be fixed. Clear? Now. So now here, in this case, these are the various objects are available. We can see all those standard objects available inside my Salesforce arc, including custom objects also, whatever we have created in the past. But till now, we haven't created any object. Just now we are discussing about objects feature here. So we can see all the standard objects available inside my Salesforce arc. Clear? Now, this is the first way. Second way, schema builder. So generally, what do you mean by schema? Schema in the sense structure. That means object. Now, schema builder. That means what? Building the structure, building the object. So in order to build the objects of your Salesforce, Salesforce has given a tool called as schema builder. Basically, schema builder is a graphical representational tool. It's a graphical representational tool. Why I'm using this word graphical representational tool is this feature is purely implemented by using drag and drop facilities. Purely, we can use drag and drop facilities to see the existing object structure. So schema builder is a graphical representational tool which is used to see the existing object structure in the pictorial format on the canvas. So as of now, in standard navigation, that means what in object manager, just we can see the object name over here, but I don't know how the object look like, how the table look like, what columns are available. We don't know all these things. But now, if you want to see the pictorial format of this object, okay, then we can use the help of schema builder. So schema builder is a graphical representational tool which represents the object in the pictorial format. Okay, that facility is available as part of this schema builder. Now, so let me show you where exactly this schema builder tool is available, how to use this. Okay, we'll see. Schema builder is a separate topic. It's a separate topic here. Object, after this objects concept and the tabs concept, we are going to discuss about schema builder concept later over there. But now I will show you how to see the objects also. Let's see how to go to this schema builder here. Now let me show you. Click on setup menu. Click on object manager tab and click on schema builder button. This is one way. Go to the schema builder tool, select the object name from the left panel, and view the object structure on the canvas. Second way, one more mechanism. Click on setup menu, search for the option schema builder in quick find box. Go to the schema builder tool and view the objects. So these are the two ways are available to go to schema builder tool. You can use any one of this navigation in order to see the existing object structure.
Completed.
Done, sir.
Done with this? Now, let's see. As part of the second option, schema builder, these are the two ways are available. You can use either first navigation also to see the objects through schema builder, or else you can use the second navigation also, any one of these. Basically, schema builder is a graphical representational tool which represents the object structure in the pictorial format. Not only looking into the object name, we can see the complete object structure also, which describes what columns available inside the table. What is the data type of each and every column? And then, is it mandatory or is it optional? It will represent. Suppose if I'm showing two objects on the canvas, it will represent whether these two objects are related or independent. It will show pictorially also. Then how can we use this schema builder? Now let's see. When you go to the real-time implementations, schema builder will help you a lot. It's a very, very useful tool in the real-time implementations to understand the existing object structure. The two, whenever we are joining into an organization as a developer or administrator, then we may be allocated to a project which is already in the middle of development. Because the project development is already started 6 months back, some team is already working on the project. From today onwards, I am also going to work on that same project here. At that time, before start working on the project, first of all, we have to understand what exactly the project, what features are available, what objects are available, how these objects are related. We should be able to understand. Then only we can work on that remaining functionality. Without knowing that functionality, how can we work on this? It will be very difficult. Okay, now. So now here in this case here also, okay, we have to understand that existing objects, structure, and the associations. At that time, to know that schema builder will help you a lot. Then how to do that? Now let me show you with the practical. No, pie charts and bar charts are nothing but reporting structures. Those are dashboards. Dashboards are different. Okay, these pictorial formats are different here. Okay, now let's see. So let's go to the setup menu. When you go to this object manager, here we have an option called as schema builder. Click on this schema builder button, and then we can go to the schema builder tool and we can use it. That is one way. Or else go to this setup menu, search for the option schema builder. Okay, schema builder, any one of this. Okay, you can use any one of the way, whatever you feel comfortable. Now let's go with that. Object manager, click on schema builder. Now it is opening schema builder tool for you. It is opening schema builder tool for you. So now let me explain this tool and the functionalities here. How to see the objects. Now let me explain. So as part of this schema builder, we have two panels are available. There is a left panel, which is expand and collapsible option here. There is a left panel. So now we have a right panel here. This is the right panel. This right panel is called as canvas. This right panel is called as canvas. Okay, now. So now let's see here. In the left panel, okay, we are having this objects tab and then elements tab. By default, objects tab has been selected by default here. Now, what this objects tab will do, it will list out all the objects available inside your Salesforce org, including standard, including custom. All the object names will be getting populated over here. These are all the object names available inside my organization here. So these are all the various objects available inside my org, including standard, including custom. Everything is visible. But when you observe these object names, each and every object name is visible along with a checkbox. There is a checkbox is available for every object here. What is the use of this checkbox here? Suppose I would like to show the structure of this object on the canvas here. Okay, then select this checkbox. Whenever I'm selecting the checkbox for an object, that object structure will be visible to you on the canvas in pictorial format over here. Okay, now. So now in this case, in order to see what object structure you want to show on the canvas, we can select those respective object checkboxes here. Select the checkbox, it will be representing that object structure on the canvas in the pictorial format. Now, so now canvas means what? It's like as a flow chart. It's like as a whiteboard. So right now we are having this whiteboard is available here. We are having the whiteboard is available on which we are going to be representing some content through a projector. Or else, if you want to draw this kind of diagrams, you can go with a whiteboard also here. Or a chart, okay, or a chart, white chart here. Or it's like as a plain paper on which we can represent something. We can draw something here, we can design something. So now this is a canvas. Canvas is used to represent some images. That means objects, fields, and everything. So that we are having this canvas. Now here we are having this legend option. Here we have legend symbols here, which will be indicating, okay, which will be indicating the color coding notations. Between few objects, you will be having some connections are available to indicate those connections. It is indicating the color coding notations. Like as the blue color line is indicating lookup relation, red color line is indicating master detail association, and the red color bar symbol is indicating this is a mandatory field. That means compulsorily we have to supply the values here. Now, here we are having the small, okay, boxes. These are indicating objects. Inside your Salesforce org, whatever the objects are available, these objects are looking like this here. But this canvas is very small, so we can't see all. That's what these are showing like a small over here. Now, if you want to see this object, just you can click on this. Now that object structure will be visible to you over here. If you want to see this object, just you can select this. We can see this object structure. If you want to see this object structure, just you can select. Now we can see this object structure. Like that here we can able to see these objects. Now, here you can raise a question, sir, I don't want to see all these objects here because it is looking like as a bit confusing to me to represent all. I will select whatever the objects that I want. So that here in the left panel, we have an option clear all. Don't show all these objects. I will select whatever the objects that I want here. Now, in this case, it is showing like a small symbol. That means every symbol is nothing but an object. Now here we can click on clear all. That means unselect all these check boxes here. Don't show any objects on the canvas. Make the canvas as empty. Okay, clear. Now, so click on clear all. Now my canvas is empty right now. Okay, now my canvas is empty. Clear? Now my canvas is empty. Suppose if you want to see an object structure, in the left panel, select this object name here. For example, I want to see account object structure, how the object look like, what fields are available, what is the data type of every field, which one is mandatory, which one is optional, everything I would like to check it out. Just you can select account. Now the account object structure will be visible to you here. There is account object structure. Here we are having zoom in, zoom out options also. We can zoom in and we can zoom out, depends upon the requirement. By using mouse pointers, we can able to zoom in and zoom out also based on your eye contact here. Now, I would like to show this object here. This is the object, account object. In this account object, it is indicating these are all are what? These are all are what? Fields. Fields means what?
Columns.
Columns, right? Columns. Now, account is a table. In this account table, these are all are the ready-made columns given by Salesforce. Because account is a standard object in Salesforce, in this object, these are all are the columns which has been given by Salesforce by default. Here we can see all the columns available inside these objects. In these columns, this red color bar symbol columns are indicating what? Mandatory.
Required
These are required fields. These are the mandatory fields that we have. Clear? Now, so now in this case, if it is an object manager, simply it will show the object name. That's it. We can't see what fields are there, which one is mandatory. We don't know all these things. But when you use this schema builder, it will show this object structure in the pictorial format so that we can see what fields are available, what is the data type of each and every field, which one is mandatory, which one is optional. Everything we can see pictorially here. Okay. Next, one more additional point here. Along with this account, I would like to have case object also. Case. Now, whenever I'm selecting this case object here, now the case object also visible here. Okay, case object also visible somewhere. Where it is available here, this is the case object. My account object is available here. Now, so now here this is account object, this is a case object. Just you can adjust wherever you want. Based on your requirement, you can adjust these objects also here. Now, account object and the case object here. These are the two objects are available with me. So now tell me, case object is having its own fields to store the case related data. That means cases, that means complaints information will be storing inside this case object. Account will be storing what? Customers data. Now tell me, these two objects are independent or related?
Related.
Related or independent?
Related.
Related.
How do you know related?
Since we have mapping between accounts to case.
Now, so in this case, there is a connector is available. Okay, there is a connector is available which is connecting both these objects.
Many.
There is a connector, there is a link is available over here. So now here in this case, this is the account object, this is the case object. Account object contains account records, that means customers records. Case object contains those customers complaints information. Cases information will be available inside your case object here. So now between these two objects, okay, we have some relation. So that's what it is indicating, this connector. Now tell me, is it one to many or one to one? Which one is parent? Which one is child?
One to
One
many.
to one.
Account is a
One to
parent
many.
and case is
Account name, account is the
One to
parent.
one.
Parent case.
Which one is parent? Account is parent or account is child?
Account is
Account
parent.
Account is
Account
parent.
is account is
case is
parent.
Parent.
Why? Because is okay, now account is the parent, case is the child. Because here, without the customer, no cases here. Without the parent, no child. That's what here we are having this account is the parent object and the case is the child object.
child object.
Now, then how do we know account is parent, account is child, case is child? Because these two objects we are discussing since almost 2 weeks here. We know what is account, we know what is case. Suppose, for example, these two object names are completely new to me. This is like as object one, this is like as object two. Then how do we know whether these two objects are related or not? Is it one to one or one to many? How do we know which one is parent, which one is child? How do we know that?
It is
When
correct.
account
In this
has
case, just by looking into the connector here, looking into the connector. So now from account, it is starting like as what? One. It is starting like as one. Whenever it is reaching to that case, it is having that many symbol here. Okay, one to many. So now one account, many cases.
many
One
cases.
parent, many child. So account is the parent, case is the child. This is the indication. Okay, this is the indication. So for that reason, we are using this schema builder in most of the places in the real time to understand the existing object structure, how these objects are associated, which one is parent, which one is child, what type of relation that we have, everything we can identify very clearly. That's what schema builder is a very, very useful tool in the real time implementations. In real time implementations, schema builder is very, very useful tool over here. Okay, understood the concept now? So now let's see here. This is the second way. In order to see this existing object structure, this is the second way we are using that is schema builder. Next, third one, developer console. Developer console. By using this developer console also, we can see the objects available inside my Salesforce app. Then how can we do that? Now let's see. Click on setup menu and click on developer console link. Go to the developer console editor. Click on file menu. Click on open menu item. Click on open menu item. Select the entity type as objects from left panel in the dialog box. Now, view the object names in the right panel. Double click on the object name to view the fields inside the object. Inside this object, what fields are available? We can able to see those fields by double click on this object name. Just you can go to the object, double click on this object name. It will list out what fields are available inside your object.
Sir, schema builder is in Lightning only, na sir?
No, in Classic also we have schema builder.
So now we are in Classic or Lightning? Lightning only, na sir?
No, it will be available because schema builder tool has been built by using Lightning framework. But that is accessible from Classic also, Lightning also both.
Okay,
It's a
sir.
common tool.
Okay, sir.
But now every functionality we are accessing from Lightning only, no Classic. Classic part is already over.
Sir, required field is not shown in star symbol. It is shown in as line. That's why I'm asking, sir.
Right. Because it will show like a bar symbol only.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Done with this? Now,
Yes, sir.
let's see how can we see the objects available inside your arc by using developer console. Let's go to your Salesforce arc. Click on setup menu. Click on setup menu. Here we are having this option called as developer console. As soon as once you click on this setup menu gear icon, we have an option developer console. Now a separate editor will be opened for you. This is the developer console editor. The editor will look like this. So in this editor on the top, we are having this menu bar is available. Like as file menu, and then edit menu, debug, test, workspace, help. These are the various menus are available on this menu bar. Just you can click on file menu. Now, if you want to create something new, then you can select this new. Like as if you want to create what? You want to create an Apex class or a trigger or visual force page or component or static resource or lightning application, component, interface, event, token, what you want to create. Now I'm not creating anything, just I want to see the existing functionalities. So what you want to see, just you can select. Click on open. Click on open. Now it is providing a dialog box. In this dialog box, in the left panel, we are having entity type. What type of components you would like to see? You want to see objects, classes, or triggers, or what? What you want to see here? We can select that. Now, I would like to see the objects. Whenever you are selecting this option, objects, automatically in this organization, whatever the objects are available, we can see in the right panel here. Here it will list out all the object names, whatever we have inside your arc. Inside these objects, if you want to see some fields, just double click on this object name, we can see the fields. Like let's see. Just you can click on objects. Now it is loading that object names. Whatever the objects are available inside your Salesforce arc, all the object names, we can see it over here. Suppose I have an object called as some contact. Contact. In this object, what fields are available you want to see, what columns are available, just you can double click on this. Double click on this, we can see the columns here. These are the columns. ID column is deleted, master record ID, account ID, last name, first name, salutation, name, other city, other state. Like that, we are having all these columns. These are all other columns available inside my table. Okay, clear? Simply go to the file menu, click on open, select the entity type as object, and we can list out the object names. If you want to see the fields available inside this object, like as case object, just you can go to the case, double click on this. We can see the case object details over here. Okay, now, so whatever the object structure you want to see, we can see that object structure here also. These are the three ways are available to see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. First one, object manager. Second one, schema builder. Third one, developer console. So these are the three ways are available to see the objects available inside my Salesforce arc. Clear? Understood the concept now? Now, let's see. So now let's come to that one more most important point as part of this. Whenever I'm creating a new custom object in Salesforce, what will happen behind the screen? What kind of features that Salesforce provides? Now let me explain. Now, for example, I'm creating a custom object here. I'm creating a custom object with the name some customer. In order to store my customer's data, okay, I would like to create an object with the name customer. Okay, now, whenever I'm creating the custom object, what kind of features Salesforce will offer by default? Now, let's see. Now, tell me generally, creating the object means what? Creating the table. Okay, creating the table. So, whenever we are creating a custom object, Salesforce will provide a table. Now, as a step one, it will provide a table. So, what is the table name? Customer. Now, is it standard or custom? Custom, because we are creating. If it is a custom object, how it will represent the name? Customer underscore C, double underscore C. Salesforce will provide the table automatically. That means creating the object means creating the table. So whenever we are creating an object in Salesforce by giving the name customer, Salesforce will provide a table internally by default with the name customer underscore C. Because this is not standard, this is custom. So to indicate that it is indicating customer underscore C. Now, for example, so this is the table. So this is a table which has been given by Salesforce. So this is a table which has been given by Salesforce. So this is the customer table. That means customer underscore C object. Now, so now tell me, is this table is empty or do we have any fields inside this? Fields means columns.
Yes.
Columns. Will the Salesforce will provide this table as empty table or will it provide some default columns? In this case, Salesforce is providing some standard fields. Fields means
empty.
columns. What are the columns that we have inside the table? Now those columns are called as fields in Salesforce. Object means table. Field means column. That's it. Okay. Now, so whenever I'm creating a custom object by giving the name customer underscore C, Salesforce will provide a table, but this table is not an empty table. In this table, Salesforce will provide 5 columns by default. In this table, Salesforce will provide 5 columns by default over here. First one, ID. Second one, name. Third one, owner. Fourth one, created by. Fifth one, last modified by. These are the 5. ID, name, owner, created by, last modified by. These are the 5 standard fields given by Salesforce by default for every object, including standard, including custom also. If I am creating 100 objects in my Salesforce R, in every object, these 5 fields are fixed. These are common. Okay, so as part of this object is not an empty object. Salesforce is providing 5 standard fields by default. Like as ID field, name, owner, created by, last modified by. These are the 5 standard fields will be given by Salesforce. Now, let me design these fields over here. So this is ID field. This is used to store the record ID. Is used to store the name of the customer. It is used to store the owner value, owner name, okay, who is the owner of the record. It is used to store created by. That means this record is created by whom, which user creates this record, and the last modified by. These are the 5 standard fields. Like the ID field, name, owner, created by, and the last modified by.
What's the difference between owner and created by?
Now, so now here in this case, so these are the 5 fields. ID field, which is used to store the ID of the record, that means 18 characters ID. Name, to store the name of the customer. Owner, which will be indicating who is the current owner of the record. Created by, the person who created the record here. Now, for example, okay, assume that. So now I have created a record right now. Who is the owner of the record? Myself. Who is created by? Myself. Okay, created by also myself, owner also myself here. Now I have transferred this record to this person here. Okay, I have transferred this record to this person. Then who is the created by person? Myself. Who is the owner? New person over here. That's it. So that means what here? Owner is nothing but the user who owns the record right now. Who is the current owner of the record here? That will be indicating by the owner. Created by, in the sense, the person who created the record here. Now, created by will be always fixed. Owner will be keep on changing. We can transfer the record from myself to another user. He can transfer to another person. He can transfer to another user also. We can keep on transfer. So owner will be keep on changing over here. Whenever a person has modified my record, to track those details, it is using last modified by. Who recently modified my record? Who is the last modified by person? To track that, it is using last modified by person details over here. These are the 5 fields over here. So these are the 5 fields, okay, which has been given by Salesforce by default. Then we'll see. When moving forward, we'll see how can we transfer the records ownership from one user to another user with a manual, with the automated. Okay, everything we'll see practically also here. Okay, now. So upon transferring the record ownerships, we can transfer the record ownership to a single user also, or we can transfer the records ownership to the group of users also here. Depends upon the requirement. We can transfer the record ownership to multiple users also, like as a queue. Okay, like that here we can able to transfer the record ownership to the required queues also over here. Depends upon the requirement. Okay, now from those people can access. Like for example, let me explain a small scenario. Assume that today I want to apply for a credit card, okay, or personal loan, or home loan, whatever. So at that time, what we will do? Do we need to visit the bank branch? No. Just to sit in your home, use that ICICI Bank website, go to the apply online, form will be getting open. Or else go to your mobile banking here. Now open the ICICI Bank app. There is a personal loan form is available. Fill the form, submit the data. Automatically it will do that. So here also I'm accessing the ICICIbank.com application. Upon click on apply online, a form will be getting open. Once I have entered some data inside this form, when I click on submit button, the request will be going to their server here, ICICI Bank server. In that server, there is a web service is available. It will pick up this record data. Based on the data, a record will be created inside the lead object. That means I'm also one of the person who just showed interest in ICICI Bank loans service, or credit card service, or personal loan, or home loan, vehicle loan, property loan, gold loan, whatever, anything here. Now it is going to be creating a lead record. Once the lead record has been created, automatically lead record will be transferring to the respective queues over here. They're having so many service centers are available, it will be transferring to the respective members. So now, as soon as whenever the loan application has been raised, it will be sending to that respective, okay, the loan departments people. Because Hyderabad loans department, Bangalore loans department, Mumbai loans department. Depends upon the location of that particular, okay, person. That means if the city is from Hyderabad, it should be transferred to Hyderabad loans department people. Those people will contact you. So it will transfer the record to Hyderabad loans department. Okay, people here. Inside this Hyderabad, okay, they're having a loans department is available. So many okay people are available who are dealing with the personal loans. Immediately they will be collecting your record. They will start contacting you. They will be giving the information. Just now you showed your interest in our loans, personal loan services. Please let me know your details so that we'll come to your location. We'll complete the necessary formalities. We'll apply the loan for you on behalf of you. You no need to visit my organization. We no need to visit my branch. We will come to your place over here to apply for the loan. So that we are using this kind of functionalities. This entire process we can automate through by using mouse clicks within 2 minutes in Salesforce. Okay. We no need to spend some a lot of time to build this functionality. Just within 2 minutes we can do everything over here. When moving forward, I will show you the complete life cycle, how to implement that. Now, in this case, let's see. So now, whenever I'm creating this object, Salesforce is providing this table. In this table, we have 5 columns are available: ID, name, owner, created by, last modified by. These are the 5 columns will be given by Salesforce. Now, fine. So now tell me, once the table is ready, how can we manage the data here? From there, we can store some customer records, right? Yes. Can we modify the customer records in future? Yes. I want to delete some customer records also. Okay, who are not utilizing our services since very long time. I want to delete those records. And I want to see the customer's information also. So how can we do this operation? Once the table is ready, we can insert some records. We can modify the records. We can delete the records and we can view the records also. So now tell me in this case, how can we do this? Do we need some user interfaces, right? Yes. Then who will provide that user interfaces? Do we need to design those things manually? No. Salesforce is providing those user interfaces also. Now, in order to manage the records inside the object, we require a group of user interfaces. Now tell me in Salesforce, the combination of these user interfaces will be called as what? Tab. Right. Now, so now what is my object name here? Customer. What will be the tab name? Customer. Simple. Because we know object name is singular, tab name will be plural format. Okay. Now, so that once the table is ready, Salesforce is creating a tab for you. That means user interfaces also designing by Salesforce automatically. Tab. That means user interfaces. What will be the tab name here? Customers. Okay, customers. So it provides the user interface like this. We will be having this user interface. So this is the user interface. Now, customer name and the owner name. It is providing 2 text boxes over here. First text box is used to enter the name of the customer. Second text box is used to enter name of the owner. And along with that, it is providing 2 more buttons. Save button, cancel button. Now we are having these 2 buttons will be available. Save button, cancel button. These are the 2 buttons will be available. So this is the tab. Customers. Now here you can raise a question. Sir, in my table we have 5 columns. You have given only 2 text boxes. Why? Now tell me, for the ID column, who will generate the value? Do we need to pass the value for ID column?
No,
No.
Salesforce will
Then who will
generate that.
generate the ID value? Salesforce. Salesforce is generating ID for every record, which is an 18 character. So we no need to supply the value that will be generating by Salesforce. So no text box over here. We no need to supply. Now created by who will track that Salesforce automatically by Salesforce itself. So Salesforce will be tracking that. Okay, who has created the record? We no need to supply here. So that no text box. Last modified by which user has modified my record recently. The recently modified person's information will capture. So now that will be tracking by Salesforce. So we don't need to supply. So no input. Only the name and the owner will be we are supplying. Remaining three will be generating by Salesforce. That's what I'm not providing text boxes here. Okay. Now next. So now in this case, next one. Here I'm creating a new record inside my table. Here I want to store a new customer record. I'm giving some data. I'm giving the customer data as some Suresh Kumar. The owner name, the currently logged in user owner name, because some training batch user is the owner of the record here. After entering the data inside this text boxes, when I click on this save button, what will happen? It will create a new record inside this table over here. Now tell me in this case, how this user interface will know, okay, this is the table in which it has to store the data. Here we are passing only two values. There we have 5 columns are there. How this user interface will know in which column this name value should store, in which column this owner value should get stored. How this user interface will know? How? No.
Sir, by this ID, it will take ID as a reference.
No,
By
see,
using
these columns are generating
API.
by Salesforce. This value, this value, this value will be generating by Salesforce. Okay, fine. How this user interface will know, okay, this value should be stored in name column, this value should store in owner column. How this user interface will?
Maybe the Apex programming will use for the logic
Now,
which is already
so now
created.
here in this case, this is a user interface, this is a backend table. So in between these two, we require one more layer here. We require one more layer that is called as business logic layer. Because that is called as business logic. So in between this front end and the back end, we are having a mediator. We are having a mediator that is called as business logic. This is called as a business logic. Now, this business logic will be available in the form of a class. This business logic will be available in the form of a class. Then what this business logic will do, after entering the data in the text boxes, as soon as once you click on this save button, the data will be passing to the business logic. Business logic will connect to the respective table. It will insert the record inside the table. Once the record has been inserted, it will get the response back from the database. The same response will be passing to that user interface. Because user interface doesn't have that much of intelligence to connect to the respective database. Because inside my database.com, so many objects are available. Okay, we have account object, lead object, contact object, but custom objects, everything is available. How this user interface will know this is the table to which you have to connect. This is the columns in which you have to supply the data to indicate that we are using a mediator component that is called as business logic. This business logic will be available in the form of a class. So this class name is going to be providing the Salesforce over here. So now the class name is your table name. What is the table name? Customer underscore underscore C. Okay, this is a business logic here. So now Salesforce is not only providing this particular table, simply it provides the business logic also. That will be in the form of a class. That class name is customer underscore underscore C. These are the 3 layers we'll be giving by Salesforce. Generally, if you want to build this kind of small functionality by using any other programming, Java, .NET or anywhere, it will take minimum some 3 to 4 hours of time. But in Salesforce, it will be taking hardly 2 minutes, not more than that. That too, we don't want any programming. We no need of any skills. Just we can create the object, everything it will build automatically for you. Okay, so that here, as part of this Salesforce, whenever I'm creating a custom object with the name customer, this much of functionality will be happening with Salesforce in the background. This is the background architecture of Salesforce. So in this case, whenever I'm creating an object with the name customer, Salesforce will provide a table with the name customer underscore underscore C. Inside the table, it is providing this of 5 columns: ID, name, owner, created by, last modified by. Once the table has been designed, it is preparing that user interface automatically for you. Now, so once the user interface has been getting designed, then it is preparing the business logic also automatically by default. We no need to design anything. We no need to spend any additional things. Everything will be building by Salesforce in one shot. So once you create the object by giving some next navigation button, everything will be building by Salesforce. Directly we can use it. Okay, nothing to implement, nothing to write any code. Everything will be building by Salesforce automatically for you by default over here. Okay, this is the background functionality will be happening in Salesforce upon creating your own custom objects. Clear? Then, how to create this custom object? Once the object is created, will this all these 3 layers will be giving the Salesforce or not? How can we check it out? Okay, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll see the practical concept of object creation. How to create our own custom objects, we'll see. Okay, how to create our own custom object, we'll see in tomorrow's session with the practicals. Okay, and then, so now tomorrow we'll be discussing about object creation, and then we'll see the concept of fields. Okay, fields. What exactly a field? What it represents? What type of fields are available in Salesforce? Everything we'll see one by one. Okay, don't miss that tomorrow's session. That is very, very important. Okay, now. So once the objects and the fields concept is over, I will be giving one requirement document to you so that you have to work on that part. Every topic wise, I will be sharing one requirement document so that you can get some hands-on experience on that part. Okay. Thank you.
Firoz, when we'll discuss about the profiles and users?
That will be last. It will take 20 more days.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Firoz.